What's up, my brothers and my sisters from another mister? Today we're going to do a comic book review of Spawn issue number 336, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. Before we get into the issue, Sinn's surprise attack of Omega Island was met by Clown's forces and the sudden appearance of Sinn's brother, the Forsaken. The world was still young the last time Sinn laid eyes on his brother. Though a millennia has passed since then, he still clearly recalls that fateful day when he, as Cain, crushed in the skull of Abel, forever changing the world. It was the day Sinn committed the first murder, going biblical here. Before that, the brothers had been boys who loved each other dearly. Neither could have ever conceived the world they now find themselves in as they go at it back and forth. I love this half panel of Cain and Abel back in the day, and now Sinn the Forsaken evolved into today's world. The pain that awaited them, they could not imagine the hate that would one day fill the boys' hearts, because when these boys grew into men, they became the first human hellspawn and redeemer. And they go at it hard. Ham! Forsaken lays a haymaker on Sinn. Necroplasm is oozing out of his head. You've no idea how long I waited for this, Cain. How long I spent wondering when I ever get my revenge. And Sinn's like, for me, I didn't think about you once, but I'll do a better job at killing you this time. Despite Sinn's bravado, he knows he's potentially made a fatal miscalculation in coming here. And so does Clown. And Clown was like, I was hoping he put up more of a challenge because Sinn is getting his ass wiped on the floor. Arrogance has always been Sinn's downfall. The second he gets a taste of power, he's like a child on a sugar rush. It goes straight to his head. He's thinking he's unstoppable, but look at him. He's leaking necroplasm like a sieve. I actually had to look up what Civ was. You could judge me on that later because I didn't know, but hey, he's getting his butt whipped. He may be able to siphon power from hellspawns, but he can lose it just as fast. So we keep him busy, keep him burning through his energy reserves. Then we gut him like a pig. In this panel right here, Mark has to deal with the tough question asked by Overkill when Mark was making a call for She-Spawn in the previous issue asking for help and reinforcements. What are you doing, Mark? Who'd you call? Jim says no messages in or out, says Overkill. Don't worry, Overkill, I was just calling for a pizza because, you know, I'm human and everything and I gotta eat, so I was hungry. We're trying to save the world, Mark. Overkill's not buying it. And Overkill tells him the Spawn message doesn't care about anyone or anything, just himself. We have to stop him, understand? I don't want to hurt you. And he's referring to Spawn, so you need to tell me who you were calling. But in the meantime, while he was doing all that confrontation, Mark's Medieval Spawn mask is following him, and as soon as it engages and activates, he transforms into Medieval Spawn, and he tells him, I would have words with you, Overkill, but you need to step away from Mark now, or else. And you know what? Forget or else. He's just gonna go at it and whacks him in the back, gets him out the face. I told you didn't want none of the smoke. So Daniel Kilgore tells Medieval Spawn about time you showed yourself, Medieval Spawn. So they're ready to go at it. Not to them, but to, you know, in the base, they want to have some fun. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. And Medieval Spawn tells him that you were warned. There might be delays, Kilgore. Are you ready to proceed? And Kilgore tells him that his brother, Hans, is in position. We've been waiting for the right moment. Well, it turns out the right moment is here. I'll deal with these two. Let's get some. And so they go at it, but in this panel, this isn't how it was supposed to go down. The plan was for a quick shock and awe attack that would bring Omega Island to its knees. Unexpected obstacles slowed the progress of Sinn's army. Though while Clown's forces have, after initial setback, proven more resilient than expected, the prospect of a quick victory has dwindled too. And Blood's associate, maybe second in command, tells her that we're being pushed back into the south and we lost most of the Necroziles. The sun will be up soon. What should we do, Blood? We're getting worked here. And Blood's like, well, give the order to retreat. And Cataclysm is like, no, we need to stay and help Sinn. And Blood's like, if your information had been more accurate, we wouldn't be in this freaking mess. Sinn overplayed his hand in coming here. It was an ambitious gamble, but it failed. If I were you, I worry about your own survival. And Blood flies off with his associates. The order is given, and in minutes, Sinn's already depleted forces shrink even further. And Forsaken knocks his ass back in this panel. After you murdered me, do you know what happened, Cain? I was one of the first humans let into heaven, so the purifiers can use me as a plaything, testing to see how much pain they can inflict before I broke. Once they found that limit, they brainwashed me into being their lapdog, and now I can finally make all of you pay for what you did to me. It was only by being pulled to this era that I was able to regain control of myself. and says like, man, don't worry, I'll end your suffering right now. Once again, his bravado's overcoming and he's overplaying his hands. And Forsaken's like, you don't get to lord over me no more. You're just the first thing that's going to fall. The rest of heaven will soon be following you into oblivion. That was one hell of a fight, man. I loved it. In this panel right here, Nyx and Jim Downing are still in Spawn's mind. And because where they're at right now in the friendly suburban neighborhood, Jim is like, this can't actually be Al's mind. We can't still be in Spawn's mind because this actually looks normal, which somehow makes it more unnerving because they're used to Spawn and Al Simmons being darker. Nyx is like, oh my gosh, they're at Spawn's wedding. It's his wedding the day he married Wanda Blake. And Jim's like, I met her one time back when I first started out as Spawn, and I didn't realize who she was at the time, but my symbiote shared Al's memories with me afterwards. We don't get no editorial notes with that, because I don't know what issue that is. But anyways, so Jim tells Nyx that she seemed like a good person, but it's strange seeing Al happy. I don't ever think I ever seen him smile. It just makes me sadder to see what he's become now. But this could be a good sign though, because as they approach and keep walking down his memory lane, and these are memories that Al Simmons guards with his life, they must be getting close to where Al keeps the secrets of unlocking the dead zones and controlling the dead zones. And as they keep walking, they believe they're found it because they found 14 graves, one for each of the dead zones, each with unique coordinates that Al must have hidden the power to control them in a different location on Earth. So Nick tries to memorize each coordinate, then they can go back to their, real world outside of Spawn's mind. But in the meantime, Jim disappears and Nyx wonders, where the hell are you? So as she goes back into real time and steps outside of Al's mind, Hunt is right there like, okay, take a deep breath and relax for a second. And Nyx's like, what the hell are you doing, traitor? I wasn't convinced that you and Jim Downing had my best interests at heart, because the only reason why Hunt joined him in the first place, because they told him they could find a cure for him. But he's like, I don't believe it. And guess what? I knew damn well you guys were gonna have my best interest. Now I was just proven otherwise. So Nyx looks at Jim and she wonders, what the hell have you guys done to him? And Spawn's like, less than he deserves. Is your little coop over, Nyx, or do I have to? And before anything could get started, well, it got started with Cyborg and Medieval Spawn going at it. And Hunt's brother tells him to get up and not to let Nyx escape. And he's like, I'm honest. So as he goes and attracts Nyx and tries to, pin her down to not let her escape, Nyx is like, I won't forget this, you traitor. And she blasts him off. All this fighting is ensuing and it's just right unfolding before Nyx's eyes. Nyx over here, says Jim, we need to disappear. This might be our only shot. We're not going to win this. Not today. But you're the only one who knows where he's hidden each dead zone. You need to find them before he moves them again, says Jim. What about the rest of you, says Nyx. Oh, we'll be just fine, but go. We'll try buying you as much time as we can. And that's where we end this issue of Spawn, issue number 336. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. I thought this was gangster, I thought this was fun. And seeing Sinn and Forsaken go at it, even though it was short-lived and a short fight, I thought it was bloody necroplasmic fun. Link in description if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection. With all that being said, Spawn, issue number 336. If you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy and don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. And don't forget to check us out on our Whatnot platform where we do online auctions on Whatnot. And this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.